Okay, to be honestly, have you ever wondered why your workouts aren't giving you the result that you want? Well, I think there's a lot to it, and it starts with your plate. I am doing this video so it can just help you get out of frustration. So while you are at it, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on the clock of notification to be alert on my next video. So let's start with the basic. I hope to make this video really understanding because it was really hard for me to understand all this until recently because I'm still also in my fitness journey. So let's just start with the basic. Nutrients are the component or the chemical that our body needs to grow and to repair itself. That means that without it, we are nothing. Among those nutrition, there are some that our body need in large amount, and those are the one called macromolecule. I'm sure that you heard about this. I was like, what is this? But it's basically the nutrients that your body needs in large quantity. And those nutrients that are called macronutrients are like a three type. We have carbohydrate, we have protein, and we have fats. So example of carbohydrate is fruit, vegetable, grain, and legumes. Example of protein, is meat, is eggs, is even legumes. And of course, example of fat is oil. When we consume those nutrients, because they are too large, they are broken down through a system called metabolism. I'm sure you have heard of it too. I was like, what is that? It's just the fact that the large nutrients that you get, which are the macronutrients, are breaking down into small pieces. So for example, for carbohydrate, if you consume bread or pasta, it's going to be broken down into sugar. And for protein, it's going to be broken down to nucleic acid. Fat are broken down into fatty acid or glycerol that make up the phospholipid of our membrane. Membranes are part of the cells in our body. Our body is constituted of cells, and therefore those fats really break them down into fatty acid or glycerol so they can make up our cells. To add to that, is also a fourth type of macromolecule. It's not really considered a macromolecule because it's not required in large amounts, but it is called nucleic acids. So those are broken down into nucleotides that constitute the component of our DNA. So those nucleotides are used to build our DNA. So basically, this means that there is a type of macromolecule that you eat that is not really macromolecule because you don't need it in large amounts, but those are broken down into an element that constructs your DNA. This is important, guys, because it's like you are what you eat. Like if I check your DNA, then I can say what you eat. And if I check you, I'm like, you are what you eat. So it's really important. Those are the essential nutrients that every human being needs. And if you don't have any of those, or like you don't have them in proper amount, you could be in malnutrition. Whether you're eating a large amount of one of those nutrients or in a small amount, is still called as malnutrition. And to add to all those essential elements that we have, I want to add water, which is really important, and also minerals, which is really important, not to forget vitamins. I have discovered something when I was like doing my homework, and they were talking about the type of food because they were talking about malnutrition and stuff. So it's like there is a type of, I would say, food that is called like a ready to use therapeutic food that is called REF. And it's actually like a lot of them, and they were giving to the people and like the child that were like having malnutrition problem. And it's actually peanut. I was like, and then peanut have all those ingredients, all those nutrition, the carbohydrate, the protein, and it does not spoil that much. And they give it to those children, and they recover pretty fast. So I'm like, everybody should have peanuts. Like, eat peanut, guys. It's good for your body, unless you're allergic to it. If you're allergic to it, that's fine, but you can still find a way to, feed yourself. We also have micronutrients. Those are the one like originally you don't need them in a large amount, you just need them in a small amount, like a really small amount. And those are minerals and vitamins. So we have iron, we have calcium, we have potassium, we have all those different type of vitamins out there. So those micronutrients are really important because that's what help the metabolism of your body. So basically, you eat all those large amount of nutrients that your body need, and the micronutrient that is required in a small amount help the digestion and the broken down of those large nutrients that you have before. If you don't take anything, what I want you to understand is that you need certain type of nutrient in large amounts, that is carbohydrate, protein, fat, and you also need to feed yourself to nourish your body with macronutrients, which are really important for your metabolism, for the breaking down of the large pieces that you're going to intake, which are calcium, potassium, a certain type of vitamin like vitamin B, vitamin A, B1, B12, K, A, D, C, all those stuff. But just make sure that you just talk to your doctor if you need to. But I think most people just eat it, they just take vitamin in. I don't know if they need a doctor for that, but it's really important. If you don't take medicine and you don't like taking all those vitamin and stuff, I still want to like assure you that the food that we eat do have certain type of them. The food that we eat does have like a calcium, like we can still like, we can talk about milk, we can talk about like eggs, we can talk about all those dairy stuff like whole grain, fruit, vegetable, grain, meat, fish, beans. All those things contain not only the macronutrients but also the micronutrients that our body needs. So basically, baseline, just eat healthy, just eat a little bit of everything. Don't get stick to one thing, burgers every day, because sometimes we feed, personally me, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I feed myself more of like a whole grain, a grain more than anything. I eat bread all the time. Like bread, I eat bread all the time, all the time. If I don't, that's my snack, that's my dinner, that's my breakfast. Don't talk about breakfast. I have to have bread, and I love bread, but it's not balanced because I have to change those stuff. So just make sure that you eating a little bit of everything. You including both vegetable, both fruits. You including meat, any type of protein. Just make sure you have carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Those just three things that you need. Make sure when you're eating, and I'm talking to myself too, it's just like we gotta have a certain type of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. But in our most of stuff we eat have protein and fat. I don't think about carbohydrate that much. But you know, it's just up to you if you want to eat healthy. I have a tips for you. My tips to start eating healthy for real is called DRC. I just put it like that. DRC, which is D for decision, decided. You're gonna start it. Everything start with decision. And R is for replace. Okay, so you're not just gonna stop eating. You can replace progressively what you eat with healthy stuff. Like drink more water. Okay, hold yourself accountable for drinking more water. Hold yourself accountable for eating at least a fruit, or taking at least a fruit, or how do you say, vegetable. Just hold yourself accountable and slowly replace what you're eating that you think and you know is bad for your health with good stuff, just progressively. It's a long shot and it's a long goal, so don't just rush it. You're not gonna like it, but replace them progressively and you will see. And the last one is C for consistency. Consistency is the key. I remember I've decided to start eating healthy, so I just started slowly replacing what I ate. I also eat a lot of rice, so I started replacing the rice with other stuff slow by slow. I still eat rice, but because I did it progressively and by replacing it one by one, it doesn't feel like I miss rice. I don't. If I want to eat rice, I eat rice. And you also establish a healthy eating habit, because we don't want to eat healthy for 5 days and in the 2 days of the weekend we are rushing on burgers. No, if you want to eat your burgers, eat your burgers. Just make sure you cook it yourself. That's better, because if you cook it yourself it will be more healthier for you. And that's a replacement. I don't want to get McDonald's anymore. I'm going to cook it how I like it. I'm going to make sure it's healthy. And that's how slowly you replace it and you be consistent in it. Then it will just become part of you. And don't forget, what you eat can be seen in your DNA. So you become what you eat. So just make that decision for yourself and replace stuff. Be consistent in it because it's a long shot. And I just hope this video helped you. Don't forget, you are a champion. See you next time.